Hello everyone and welcome to Barca News. It's September 8th, 2022 and I'm still in awe with Barcelona's brilliant performance last night where they beat the Czech team Viktoria Plzen in the first Champions League match. Now, as expected, there were several rotations in the team, 6 to be more specific, with Sergi Roberto, Andreas Christensen and Jordi Alba starting in the defensive line, with Frankie de Jong and Frank Kessie starting in the midfield, and with Ansu Fati starting in the place of Rafinha. Now, despite of all these rotations and changes in the team continued to perform well, and that goes to show the amazing depth that we currently have in the squad, and that's a testament to the amazing work that the club has done in the summer transfer market, where we have 2 quality players in each position, and we have enough players to form not 1 but 2 teams that are capable of competing and winning trophies. Now, Barcelona won 5-1 with goals from Kessie, Ferran Torres, and a hat-trick from Robert Lewandowski. Now, with this hat-trick, Lewandowski has set 2 records, the first one being the first player in history to score 3 hat-tricks with 3 different teams in the Champions League, and those teams are of course Dortmund, Bayern Munich, and now Barcelona. Now, the second record that Robert Lewandowski has set is that he has surpassed Karim Benzema to become the 3rd highest scorer in the Champions League history with 89 goals, right behind Lionel Messi with 125 goals and Cristiano Ronaldo with 140 goals. Now, Lewandowski has already scored 8 goals for Barcelona and the season has just begun. Now, Lewandowski is an absolute killer and a goal scoring machine. However, that is not the only thing that he contributes to Barcelona. He combines really well with his teammates. His high intensity and high desire to win every ball increases the level of all the teammates on the field, and he has also emerged as a team leader in the locker room and on the field, where we constantly see him talking to his teammates and giving them tips and advice on how to play better. Now, Lewandowski is an absolute blessing for Barcelona, and Xavi said in the press conference after the match that Lewandowski is completely insatiable. Now, Lewandowski was not the only star of yesterday's match. Ousmane Dembele also had a brilliant performance. The French player looks like he's completely reborn and he's a completely different person. He was constantly dribbling past defenders, combining well with his teammates, creating chances, creating danger, recovering the ball every time he lost it, and his effort culminated in him providing 2 assists. Now, Dembele's brilliant performance is evident in his last night's stats, and those stats are as following. Dembele won 100% of all tackles. He had an 89% pass accuracy. He completed 86 touches. He won 11 out of 15 ground duels. He completed 6 out of 9 dribbles. He had 6 key passes. He completed 4 out of 8 crosses. He created 2 chances and he provided 2 assists. Now, this is a Dembele that all of us Barcelona fans were waiting to see since we signed him in Dortmund. And this is the type of Dembele that we want to continue to see. And if he continues this amazing performance, I have no doubt that Barcelona will be contenders for the European Championship. Now, Xavi compared Dembele to the best Neymar in the press conference, and I couldn't agree more with the coach's words. Now, Ferran Torres came off the bench during the second half to replace Ansu Fati, and he had a brilliant performance where he scored a goal and provided assists within 5 minutes. And I really hope that by scoring this goal that Ferran Torres will be able to regain his confidence, because I believe that he's a great player who can read the game pretty well. He can read the spaces really well, very well, and he can be in the right place at the right time. Now, unfortunately, Ferran Torres has missed many goals in the past, and that has caused him to receive a lot of hate from the fans. But hopefully, with scoring this goal, he'll be able to regain his confidence and begin to score goals, because as I said already, I really believe that Ferran Torres is a great player and that he can contribute a lot to this team. Now, Frank Kessie debuted with Barcelona in the Champions League, and it only took him 30 minutes to score his first goal, and he was assisted by no other than Jules Koundé, who was initially signed so he can contribute to the defense. And not only is he doing that job pretty well, but he's also contributing a lot to the offense, where he has provided 3 assists in the last 2 matches. Now we are very lucky to have someone with the profile as Franck Kessié, where he is very strong physically and he can go from box to box, and he's not only solid defensively in the midfield, but he can also come forward with the ball, breaking lines, combining with his teammates, and he's also capable of scoring, as we saw in last night's match. Now Sergio Roberto started as a right back, and even though he only played one half, he also had a great match where he was very good offensively, breaking lines, combining well, and creating danger on the right side. And he also defended well, and he showed us that he still has some fight in him and that he could be a good player to rotate, and he could come off the bench and make a difference in the team. Now Ansu Fati also started in yesterday's match, and even though it wasn't one of his best matches, it's good to see that the player is getting some minutes so he can regain his level and confidence, and we can see that Ansu Fati that we're all been waiting to see, but unfortunately due to his injuries we've been unable to do so. Now we also saw Memphis Depay come off the bench during the last 15 minutes, and we saw Pablo Torre have his debut with Barcelona, and he said after the match that this was one of his happiest nights in his life, and that he wanted to thank Xavi for this opportunity. Now Pablo Torre of course was signed for the Barca Athletic, and he has been training with the senior team, so hopefully after last night's match we'll be able to see Pablo Torre playing a little bit more with the senior team, because this player has a lot to offer and a lot of promise in those boots. Now overall it was a brilliant performance by the team. We are starting to see the mechanisms that Xavi wants to implement in this team, with the team maintaining high possession of the ball, triangulating pretty well, moving the ball fast all around the field, creating dangers through the sides by the use of the wingers and the fullbacks, maintaining pressure high up the field, and maintaining pressure and try to recover the ball right away upon loss. Now some will say that this was Viktoria Plzen that wasn't a very strong opponent, but this is more than that, because we're starting to see the team come together, play well together, and they're starting to improve with every single match. Now the defense did make some silly mistakes in yesterday's match that almost cost us a penalty that was overruled by VAR, and of course there was the silly mistake that allowed Viktoria Plzen to score a goal. Now I'm glad that the defense made those mistakes last night, because now Xavi will be able to analyze those mistakes and learn from them, and the team could train to not repeat these mistakes, because hadn't the team made those mistakes in yesterday's match and had made them against, let's say, Bayern Munich would have not forgiven us those mistakes and would have most likely scored against us. So it's very important that we learn from those silly mistakes and we not repeat the same mistakes in the upcoming matches. Now Xavi did stress that it's very important that we not get too euphoric. He said in the press conference after the match that wins bring confidence and boost morale. However, we're still in a very tough group, and this is no time for euphoria, and that we've only won 3 points so far. Now Xavi makes a very good point, because even though the team had a brilliant performance last night, we still have a long road ahead of us, and it's very important that we remain patient and calm. I've already seen people on social media talking about how we're gonna win the Champions League and even the Treble, and it's important to remember that the road is still very long, that the calendar is very demanding this year, and we still have the World Cup in the middle of the calendar, which of course is gonna affect the players, and we have yet to see what's gonna happen. Now Barcelona's next opponent will be Cadiz, which is an away game on Saturday in La Liga, and after that Barcelona will be flying to Munich to face Bayern Munich on Tuesday in the Champions League. Now Robert Lewandowski said that the team are ready to face Bayern Munich, and he said also that he wanted to score as many goals as possible. Now if you want to support Barcelona in this Champions League season, make sure you hit the kit bag, where they have the biggest collection of Barcelona's jerseys and gear, and in fact they're currently having a sale on the Barcelona away jersey. So make sure you hit the link down below in the description so you can support Barcelona in this new and exciting season. Now on to the news that with the departure of Medellin Pjanic to the UAE, he has cleared some space on the wage bill that Barcelona will be using to issue Gavi and Ronald Araujo new contracts. Now as I reported previously, Gavi is currently on his Juvenil A or under 19 team contract, and Barcelona were hoping to issue him a senior team contract and give him a senior team salary in a summer transfer market. However, they were unable to do so because they couldn't clear enough space on the wage bill. Now, Barcelona have promised Gavi to renew his contract in the winter transfer market and give him the number 6 jersey, which was Xavi's legendary number. Now, Ronald Araujo is still operating on his old contract, and with the space that created in the wage bill with the departure of Miralem Pjanic, Barcelona will be aiming to give Gavi and Ronald Araujo new contracts that are more deserving of their high level and skills that they're currently displaying. Now on to the news that Neymar gave an interesting interview where he spoke about a myriad of topics, and one of them was Pedri. Now Neymar said that Pedri reminded him of Andres Iniesta and that the teenager was a combination of both Xavi and Iniesta. Now I couldn't agree more with Neymar because the technical brilliance of Pedri and his chance creation in the final third is definitely very reminiscent of what Xavi and Iniesta used to do. Now we're very lucky to have Pedri on our team because he's been giving us brilliant performance match after match, so much so that we have stopped talking about it because we have gotten used to it and we've come to expect it in every match. But it's very important to remember that Pedri is only a teenager and what he's doing is anything but normal or ordinary. In fact, it's extraordinary, and we're very lucky to have the chance to watch this youngster play in the Barcelona jersey. Now on to the news that Antoine Griezmann scored the winning goal in yesterday's match between Atletico de Madrid and Porto in the Champions League. Now, as I reported previously, Antoine Griezmann is currently on a 2-year loan with Atletico de Madrid, and there's a clause in his contract that if he plays 45 minutes or more of 50% of all the matches that he's available for, then a clause would be triggered that would force Atletico de Madrid to buy Griezmann for 40 million euros from Barcelona. Now, Antoine Griezmann has played 45 minutes of 82% of all the matches last season, so he only has a few matches left in this season to trigger that clause. Now, Atletico de Madrid are trying to avoid triggering this clause, so they've been playing Antoine Griezmann 30 minutes or less in every match so far. Now Antoine Griezmann scored the winning goal against Porto in the Champions League. He also scored the winning goal against Valencia in La Liga, and he also scored in the victory against Getafe. So we're gonna have to see whether Atletico de Madrid keep up this charade, given that Antoine Griezmann has proven to be a very important player to them. He's also the highest paid player on their squad, so it's gonna be very foolish from the Madrid team to keep such an important player on the bench for the majority of the season, because in the end it is going to cost them some matches. Now Barcelona are investigating possible legal recourse against Atletico de Madrid because they consider this as fraud and what the team are doing to trying to avoid to trigger the clause. And of course Atletico de Madrid, they will say that it's the coach's decision to bench or play players. However, as Griezmann continues to score these winning goals and continues to prove important, it's going to become more and more difficult for Atletico de Madrid to justify how one of their most important players is spending 2/3 out of every match on the bench. Now we will end today's video with the news that Francisco Trincao had a brilliant performance in last night's win of Sporting Lisbon against Eintracht in the Champions League, and Trincao is having very good playing time with the Portuguese team, which is of course great news for the club, because the better Francisco Trincao does, the more likely that Sporting Lisbon will activate that option to buy next summer transfer window, and Barcelona will be able to offload Trincao permanently off their books. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like. Also, I'd like to invite all of you to please leave a comment down below, giving me all your thoughts and opinions about all the news that I share with you. And finally, I would like to invite all of you to please subscribe to the channel so you can stay current on all the latest news in regards to our beloved club, FC Barcelona. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. And as always, Visca Barça.